when you learn this from Tai Chi, as far as how to hold your body in a way that is most supportive, and that is to have that upright posture, to keep yourself from leaning, because leaning is going towards falling. But just know when you have your legs, I always get tickled thinking about spread your legs.
Exactly. Exactly.
Spread those legs, girls. But really, having our feet at shoulder width or hip width apart in distance, and that is just a more stable way to stand. And you take that what you learned in Tai Chi, and you hold your body that way outside of class, and it does. It really helps with your falls prevention, and that's our goal. And so in the way I do my job, yes, I want y'all to learn Tai Chi. I mean, that's cool. That's neat to say, I know a whole series of Tai Chi movements. And, as we get older, we have less to kind of brag on ourselves about in terms of learning. We go to school all those years, we learn our colors and our shapes, and we learn to read, and we learn how to do something in algebra. I'm sure we learned that. I'm really sure we learned that. But we celebrate all these things for all these years, and then it's like as we get older, it's nice to have things to celebrate, and learning things is good for our brain, and we get excited. Of course, that's what I want you to do. I want you to be able to celebrate what you accomplish in this class, but I want to affect your life in a positive way so that when you're out there, you're not falling. And
Right.
because you were involved, I also want you to know that if there's no one else in this world that cares about you, I do. I care about you. You as a person, not just a name and a number in my Tai Chi class. How many times you came to the class, because at the end of this class, I have to go into our statewide system and enter my attendance logs and how many people are completers, and to the state, those numbers are what's meaningful.
Mhm.
That's what's meaningful to them is numbers. That is the least worry of mine is to have numbers. I want to have real, true connections and with people. So that's just the way I've always handled my job. And the older I get, the more I understand just life and the big picture of what connections mean. So I love my job, and I want to keep doing my job. And
You're
Jennifer,
great at it. Great.
Jennifer,
Great.
yes, ma'am.
In all ways.
I just want to share this with you guys.
Okay.
I take a morning stretch class also. And so it was either last week or week before last. It was Bruce Lee's birthday. And I don't know if everybody remember Bruce Lee, the karate, made the movies. But anyway, he showed a clip from 1973. And the guy was interviewing Bruce Lee. And Bruce Lee was talking about Tai Chi. And he was saying, when everybody think of Tai Chi, they think of the fighting Tai Chi. And he was saying, but there is a Tai Chi. The Tai Chi was basically for the seniors to help them with falling. And I mean, it was just amazing to hear him say that in 1973.
Yeah.
It was just awesome.
You're like, yes, yes. I know exactly what you're
I'm a
talking
part of that now.
Thank you. And it's funny how we talk about our advanced movements that we're now working on, the fight that we're not having, but it
Mhm.
looks like a fight, where we're coming at with an attack and retreating from the attack of the other person, and really like digging into their eyeballs and just finishing them off, and the what we do looks kind of like a fight.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there is that basis in martial arts. So it's cool to be respected and recognized from somebody who is a fighting martial art master.
Yes. It was a master. Yeah.
Yes, because he could make us fall, couldn't he?
Sure.
It doesn't matter how strong we think we are, he could make us fall.
Where do you take your stretching class, Gwen?
I know. I wanted
It's
that.
it's on the tablet. His name
Oh,
is
okay. Okay.
yeah, it's on the Claris tablet.
Okay.
Do you know, Miss Gwen, if it's through AARP?
I'm not sure, but it's Team Senior Planet.
Yes, Senior Planet.
Morning.
Oh,
Team,
okay. I've done theirs before. Okay.
and I do CAS.
Sheree,
CAS.
Okay.
what is it? TAS?
His name is CAS,
CAS, CAS.
but the name of it is Team 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 Senior Planet,
Okay.
and it's a morning stretch.
Jennifer, I have someone doing some work here at my home this morning, so I'll be kind of in and out.
Okay. Miss Linda, did you get your sweat or
I
t-shirt?
was about to say yes, and I absolutely love it.
Very good.
I received mine as well.
Okay, Miss Lily,
Thank you.
you did not receive yours, and the reason why is there another word in your road name after Smith? Is it Miller?
Yes.
Okay, because I took it to the post office and the guy said, we don't have a Smith Road, we have a Smith Miller Road. And I said, well, let me double check before I say yes. So I will add that
No.
to this and it'll go in the mail today. So I just added it on there.
That's what me and Joe were talking about. He normally does my salt.
All right. I'm
And
going to put mute on Miss Linda so her person can continue to help her. And but I'm sorry about that, Lily.
Hey, I just got back. I ain't unpaid yet.
All right. Well, it will go out today. But that Sharita, if I'm my memory is serving me, Senior Planet is on your tablet.
Okay.
And if you want me to walk you through it, we'll get on the phone and walk you through it. In
Okay.
terms of finding the classes, because it's easy, but you know, like anything, the first time you do it, it feels not easy. But you can get that, you can sign up for that, and if you want to join Miss Gwen in morning stretching. All right,
Okay.
well, let's get started. I'm very warm today. It's very cold outside. Can y'all believe the temperature difference in a week's
Yes.
time? Holy moly.
Mm.
I thought I would have to bring the heater in this room. Y'all know in the past I've had to heat up this room before class. But note to self, this is the warmest shirt in my whole closet because it's a oof, I hadn't had to even put on the jacket that I brought to wear with it. So I did good today. Your sweatshirts, did you get yours, Miss Gwen? Oh,
I'm gonna have to send it back to you. It fits me like a dress.
oh, okay. Well, they're weird shaped shirts. What did you get a medium?
I did.
Because that's the smallest one I have.
Okay. Well, I can wear it like a dress.
But let me they are strange cut sweatshirts because they're super long.
Yeah, they're very long.
One of my seniors came in last Wednesday wearing hers, and I said, that shirt looks so good on you. And she said, well, let me tell you what I did to it. She said, I cut it off and I reattached the bottom, and I did the same thing to the sleeves. And I said, that's why it looks so good on you, because you fit it to yourself. And so I don't know that I'm going to do all that. I've done it before. It's not a whole lot of work if you have a sewing machine, But I'm thinking I'm just going to cut mine off and have it like a
Oh, yeah.
kind of a raw edge.
Mm-hmm.
And if you plan on doing that, it's not going to ravel, but what it will do is roll a little bit. So don't cut it so short and then it rolls and then, you have a belly shirt.
Okay.
So,
No, I could just put some leggings under mine
okay.
and
All
wear
right.
it like that.
Well, I put on a 3X the other day thinking, oh, I want to make a sweatshirt dress.
Mm-hmm.
But because it was legit like below my knees. And
Wow.
because y'all know I'm short. I'm 5'2".
Me
And
too.
so I don't know if I'll need one quite that big to still make a dress because they're still long. They're very long.
Mm.
But anyway, I didn't know. That's the first time I'd ever ordered sweatshirts. I just wanted y'all to have a special Tai Chi prize once you earned your t-shirts, and also to have something in the wintertime too.
Well, we
But
appreciate it.
when I like how you styled yours with the long sleeve underneath. So
Yeah.
the ladies who have yet to earn all of your t-shirts yet, that's how you can make it winter, is by putting long sleeves underneath. So see, this is not only a Tai Chi channel, it is a fashion channel. You just never know what you're going to learn.
I fit perfect. It will not serve as a dress in any capacity ever. Ever.
Oh, I can't show you with this shirt because this shirt is already a short. But something my daughter taught me is if a shirt is too long, to tuck it up under your bra, and then it's shorter, and then you didn't have to cut it off, and it has that like blousey kind of effect. So there's your third fashion advice of the Tai Chi class. All right, let's do our warm-up stretches. I'm being silly now. In our stable stance, let's begin with our neck stretches. Let's continue to breathe, making an effort to breathe through your nose.
Mm-hmm.
As we've learned that our nose warms up the air before it goes into our lungs, and it also filters the air before it goes into our lungs. Isn't God amazing? I mean, He made us in so many cool ways to just take care of ourselves. Just see him making a human and being like, okay, we need a filter in this little nose here. So it filters toxins in the air. We don't want toxins in the lungs. Roll our shoulders. And back. Forward may feel awkward, and that's because our shoulders should be back for proper posture. Big shoulder circle. For our spine, grab our ball, separate heavens and earth. Pushing up and down at the same time. Come back to our ball, switch. Now side to side. Now for our hips, this is our first time shifting weight to one leg as we place the foot forward, hands back, pause in the middle, and toe back like a kickstand, all the while keeping that upright posture. Go for the other leg. Now side to side, shifting the weight and lift and tap that foot. There's that pause right there where we're going, can I lift that foot and really not fall? It's a lot to ask one leg to hold our weight, and that's how we help strengthen those muscles. Even if we have to hold a chair and skip this hand movement, we've got to start somewhere. All right, for our knees, again, weight shift, lift, tap and punch. It's like we're challenging our leg, like, okay, you handled that, now how about this? And sometimes you got to take that pause and say, are we ready? You may feel a little bit of a wobble, and that's okay. And you see, we have here a counterbalance move where we're punching the opposite hand than the foot that's stepping out. And so, yes, that's a counterbalance, but also it's a cross-lateral movement where we're moving something on this side and something on this side, cross-lateral. And that's really good for our brains. It's kind of an unsung hero of Tai Chi. Is you see, we're doing it again right here. So many cross-lateral movements. When we had our advanced Tai Chi class at the beginning of this year, we explored that quite a bit. And how Tai Chi helps with our brains. So it's not just crossword puzzles, but it can be Tai Chi too. Now for our ankles, heel toe. Big toe, little toe, side to side. And finally, little toe, big toe. all our major joints warmed up and ready for our Tai Chi move. So let's do our basic 6. Let's do it a couple times and then we'll dive right on into our advanced 6 as we learn and get better at doing it both ways. So we're thinking our movement is in the pace of slow, smooth, and continuous. We're thinking about upright posture and we're thinking about weight transfer, but before that weight transfer happens, there is an empty step. So last week, me and Miss Linda in the afternoon class, we talked about that empty step. And so when I think step, I automatically think I'm going places when I step. There's just something about the word. It's like I'm going somewhere when I step. And that lends itself to going ahead and giving it weight. So we talked about how we empty place a foot. And so that was helpful for her just to change the wording to thinking about placing that foot there and then giving it weight. So not necessarily calling it a step. And so that's something to think about. So our verbiage has kind of changed throughout the years of doing Tai Chi. The movements are the same, but we've talked about push and how that lends itself. What is that? Oh, that scared me. We talked about how push lends itself to gentle resistance, or reach, those words. So it's the same move, but when we change a word, it may help us learn or do it in a better way. All right, so let's go through. Here we go from the top. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Close it out. So that was a test because I didn't talk about the movements. I just said the names of the movements. Let's do it again. This time I will talk you through. And commence. Hands come up. Down, shift right. Step left. Hands come in and up. Shift left as those hands go out. Right foot forward. Hands come back, open and close. Single whip. Shift left, step right, adjust weight. Push, turn, separate, eyes follow that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn, shift, 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 step, switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close. Single whip, shift right, step left, adjust weight. push, turn, separate. Eyes follow your right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step. I think I did it all wrong. I said shift and I stepped. Turn, shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn, and come to the middle for open and close. Close it out. This note was right here in front of me, and I was reading it as I did the moves and still got it wrong. But that note is so handy to walk you through all the pieces and parts of that movement until you got it without even thinking. All right, one more time. No talking at all. Not even talking about what move we're doing. Just going through it and then on to advanced. And commence. So you may have noticed on those two waving hands and clouds, the first time I did one thing at the time, or at least that was my intention, to step, then switch, then turn, then shift, just really making it choppy. And then the second time, whenever I went to the left, I combined step and switch, turn, and then shift, step. So it was a little more smooth, which is our goal in movement control. And so that's the progression of learning. We make it choppy and then gradually make it more smooth as we learn it. And we're able to combine movements to make it more smooth. Any questions about these basic 6? All right. Advanced 6. Remember, we go to the left first, and then we go to the right. So I'll move over here so we can go to the left. And we start with brush knee. And so let me talk you through brush knee. We shift left, right toe in and reach out that right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back. We're ready to step to the left. Bring this right hand around, and when we get to our shoulder, we push as we shift weight to that left foot. Follow step right. So that gets us in the direction of left. Play the lute. Step back right, turn hands, shift as they pass each other, and when I get to that elbow, follow step left. Parry punch. We step left and flip our hands, just like the waffle maker at the hotel. Shift as they pass, and we get to that elbow. Shift right, flip. Sorry, step and switch. Shift as they pass, and when we get to that elbow, stop. Step left, put up our guard. Our right hand comes back in our pocket, right? And we shift left as we deliver those flowers. Follow step right. Block and close. Step back right, separate hands. Shift as they come down to my hips. Follow step left. Push the tiger. Step left. Push as I shift. Follow step right into the front. Step, shift, step, hands face, open and close. I think I succeeded on that, on the left and right. I didn't tell too many stories. All right, so let's come and do it to the right. Same moves. Shift right, left toe in and reach out that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot back and that right hand down to our hip. Step right, bring this left hand around, and when we get to our shoulder, we shift right as we push. Follow step left. Play the lute. Step back left, turn hands. Shift as they pass, and when I get to that elbow, follow step right. Parry, punch. Step right, flip. Shift as they pass, get to that elbow. Step left, flip. Shift and then I get to my elbow. Step right, make a guard, get your flowers. Shift as you deliver, follow step left. Block and close. Step back left, release our hands. Shift as they come down to our hips. Follow step right. Push the tiger. Step right. Shift as I push those hands. Follow step left. Now to the front. Step left. Shift and right. Hands face. My weight's adjusted on both legs. Open and close. And close it out. So we're going to practice both ways so one doesn't get over on top of the other. Challenges that I have when I'm doing these moves is making sure I keep my body upright and not leaning into the movement, because I have this tendency to want to, when I shift the weight, or when I push and shift the weight, I want to go all in, my whole body. So remembering to keep myself upright. And whenever I say push, it's actually an extension of those hands. You know, when I think push, I'm like, oh, I'm all in. I'm pushing. I'm giving it my all. But really, it's an extension of those hands there. So anytime we're extending our hands, that's what we're doing, extending the hand. Our body is not going with it. So that's a challenge that I have. I always feel my body wanting to go with it, reminding myself to keep upright and just extend my arms. So yes, extend my arms, but don't lock my joints. So when I go out, when I push the tiger and I go out, I don't go out. You know, I'm not completely locking those joints ever. I'm extending those arms, but still maintaining that soft bend. All right, let's do it again. So to the left first, and then to the right. Brush knee, shift left, right toe in and reach. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back. Step left to the left, bring this right hand around, get to my shoulder. Now I'm ready to push as I shift left, follow step right. So there was that opportunity to extend, but not lean. So extend that arm as I push, follow step right. Play the lute. step back right, turn hands in preparation for them to pass each other. And when I get to that elbow, follow step left. Remember, all these steps at the bottom are really small. Parry punch. Step left and flip. Shift and parry. Step right and flip. Shift and parry. Step left, put up the guard, get the flowers. Shift left as I deliver. Follow step right. Lock and close. Step back right, release hands. Shift as they come down to my hips. Follow step left. Push the tiger. Step left. Push. Follow step right to the front. Step. Shift and step. Hands face. Open and close. To the other side. Brush knee. Shift right. Left toe in and reach. Shift left. Bring that right foot, right hand back. Step right. Bring that left hand around. Get to my shoulder and push as I shift right. Follow step left. Play the lute. Step back left, turn hands. Shift as they pass. When I get to that elbow, follow step right. Parry punch. Step right and flip. Shift and parry. Step left and flip. Shift and parry. Step right, guard, flowers. Shift as I deliver. Follow step left. Block and close. Step back, release hands. Shift as they come to my hips. Follow step right. Push the tiger. Step right. Shift as I push. Follow step left to the front. Step. Shift and step. Hands face. Open and close. How are we on those moves? We're not expecting perfection, but are you understanding the pieces and parts of each move, or is there a certain one I need to go over?
I don't do well with the choppy, but I get it when you let it move smoothly into the next part. Somehow my body does better with it, like I want to quickly do it. I'm not as slow as I need to be.
Well, it's hard to be slow. You know, we think it would be harder to go fast, but it's harder to go slow because we have to have so much more muscle strength to be able to hold that stance, to be able to be slow. You know, our weight is on, and Tai Chi is done that way intentionally to be slow so that we're on one leg longer. So which move are you saying that you have a hard time with, delivering the flowers?
No, I was having trouble with the pivoting up. You know, you put the foot out and then yeah.
Well, whenever you said, I thought you said chop. I thought I knew exactly what you were talking about.
No. I was saying when you present it in a choppy style.
Yes. By like going, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun. Got you. Well, I'll tell you why I got myself confused. Is in part 2, and you may remember, it's been a long time, but in part 2, there's a movement called leisurely tie the coat. And it looks like this, just coming at you with it. There's the end of brush knee, and then it goes leisurely tie the coat. And there's a karate chop. So it goes chop.
Okay.
Pick it up. Offer a pie. Come back and bring that pie around and throw a pie in their face. So there's a karate chop in part 2 of Tai Chi. So, but I got what you're saying now. My mind went to leisurely time. Okay. I agree. And another thing about slowing it down because it is harder. For instance, in part 2, there's a move called repulse the monkey. And part 2 gives you opportunities to pivot a lot. So you talk about in brush knee how we pivot that foot in. That's our first experience pivoting in that movement, it's on our heel. But in part 2, we pivot on our heel and we pivot on the ball of our feet. So there's several opportunities to pivot. You have to be really strong to be able to do part 2 because of that. And in repulse the monkey, I'm trying to think the best way to do it. So we have repulse the monkey here. So here's my feet. I step back, shift, I pivot on the heel, I pivot, and I pivot on the ball. Then I step, shift, follow step. Well, having to slow it down puts you in these weird, awkward positions, like your foot's in and then you're here. You're in these weird, awkward positions when you slow it down. When you speed it up, then you're almost floating. Well, you don't even see my feet.
I like that floating feel.
The flowing of the pivots here. So it was almost weightless,
Yeah.
but slowing it down lets you know what the pieces and parts of the movements are. So this time what we're going to do, we're going to forget I even mentioned part 2, but it's really, it wears your legs out to slow it down when you're first learning it. And so that's just like the most extreme example of slowing down Tai Chi and it being more difficult. And that's slowing it down to be choppy. So this time, let's just call out the name of the movement and we'll start working towards more of that flow. So here we go. We're going to do advance 6 to the left, and then we'll do the advance 6 to the right. Okay, let's start with the open and close. Brush knee. Play the lute. Hairy punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger. Open, close. Brush knee. Play the lute. Hairy punch. Lock and close. Push the tiger to the front. Open, close. So that definitely was sped up a little bit, but still slow, smooth, continuous in our Tai Chi. So we'll do that again, and just want to recognize in our brush knee that pivot, whenever we are doing it less choppy, then our toe isn't turned in so long. So there is more of that floating nature to it where we shift, turn, shift, we're not even pulling back that foot for very long before we step. So it does flow, it does definitely flow faster to go da, 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 da. All right, again, starting with the open and close. Brush knee. Play the loop. Carry punch. Block and close. Push the tiger. Open close. Brush knee. Play the loop. Carry punch. Block and close. Push the tiger. Open close. Now, how was that? How was the experience different?
It gets better every time.
Very good. Well, let's add it to our basic 6. So let's do basic 6 and advanced 6 all together from the top. And just know when we finish the final waving hands and clouds, I have to move over here so we can, because of space. So y'all don't have to move, but I do, so I can stay in camera or not run into this table. All right, here we go. And commence. Open close. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds. Open close. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds. Open close. Advanced 6, brush knee. Play the loop. Carry punch. Block and close. Push the tiger. Open close. Brush knee. Play the loop. Carry punch. Block and close. Push the tiger. Open close. Close it out. And that's what we'll do again next week. Practicing those movements over and over and making them more smooth and just knowing the pieces and parts of those. So let's give ourselves a nice leg massage, because slowing it down and making it choppy, it really does work our leg muscles harder. And it's wild how you can get sore and fatigue from going so slow. I don't think people would believe it if they just watched us just how much muscles we use to do these movements. All right, let's gather tension. We don't want to live that way. Let's let it go. So when we gather tension, we know what that feels like. We can recognize it and then let it go. So we don't live in tension, which can cause us to be in pain. Especially in our shoulders and neck, if we're holding tension there. Sometimes we'll hold tension in our jaw, cause ourselves to just have neck and headaches. Oh, shoulder circle gives us the opportunity to practice breath as we inhale and exhale. I like to inhale as I come up and exhale as I push down. And then finally, we make a fist with our right hand. That represents our strength. And remember, anytime that we make a fist, it's a loose fist. We never clench our hands. It's a loose fist. Because clenching a fist would be tension, and we're anti-tension. Our left fingers together represents our friendship. You see us all together, all just beside each other. Our thumb in our humility. And we put our hands together, and in mutual respect, we say, Namaste. One more class to go, y'all. Then we get a few weeks off, and we'll be back at it in January.
Sounds great.
But as always, y'all just let me know if you have any questions or need anything from me. And if not, I'll see you next week. Miss Lily, I'm going downstairs right now and putting your package in the mail.
Okay.
All right, so look out for that.
Okay.
All right, well, I love y'all.
All right,
Love y'all.
thank you.
All right,
Great
bye.
week.
Bye-bye.
Be blessed.
You too.